But now our story takes an unexpected turn. A mysterious stranger comes to Far Harbor, someone strong, someone capable. With the stranger's help, the last living Dalton finally has a chance to avenge her bloodline once and for all. I should know. I watched the island tear down the greatest family that ever set foot in Far Harbor. It's a tale of greed, blood, and vengeance. Now every good story's gotta have a happy ending, right? The hero finds the treasure, saves the sweetheart, and rides off into the sunset. Well, I'm a little old to leap up on a horse, but I have got something close to a treasure. This is an heirloom that's been in my family for, let me think. For at least a generation or two. There's no Daltons left to inherit the thing, so it might as well pass on to you. The island knows this weapon. Oh, yes. You carry this, and it'll take you seriously. He had a farm little ways north of here. Lived a peaceful life, working the land and not causing anyone trouble. Grandpa bravely stood his ground, a shotgun in his hands, holding off that terror while the farmhands fled back here. If you can take out that shell-backed devil, it'll send a message loud and clear that says the Daltons never forget when they've been wronged. The island sent something after him, a huge monster, mean as spit and with claws to snap steel beams, a fog crawler.
If you can wipe out those shell-backed devils, it'll send a message loud and clear that says the Daltons never forget when they've been wronged.
It's the final chapter, in fact. I was just about to explain. Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, we all haven't lost someone like Grandpa George, I can promise you that. A kinder and braver man has never walked these streets. I still remember the day I heard the news about what happened to him. Well, the real treasure's waiting for you at the end of the story. But we haven't got to that yet. Poor old Grandpa George. Torn apart by a fog crawler. The island hasn't got a shred of decency. You give that fog crawler what for? Courtesy of the Daltons. You ask anyone in Far Harbor, they'll tell you Grandpa George was everybody's favorite.
Who knows? Maybe once you've cleared out those mirelurks, we'll take that quarry back.
You take your time killing that trapper. Make it hurt. The way I've been hurting since I lost my Daniel. Everybody was. But that didn't matter to the island. Oh, no. He was cursed the moment he was born a Dalton. I can agree to that. Here's another 100 caps. Certainly. And you'll get more, but not until the story's done. Rest assured, we're almost there. Wonderful. That's another chapter successfully concluded. You truly are the heroic avenger I hoped you were. With that fog crawler gone, we can send some folks up there to get the place ready for you. And here's another 200 caps in gratitude for your service to the great Dalton lineage. That's right. The farm is yours. Your own little piece of the island. It'll take work to get it up and running again, but you'll have help. Well, I hope you know how much it means to me that Grandpa George can finally rest in peace. It's only right you get paid for your troubles. Here's 200 caps for you. Well, I got something special in store that'll make it all worthwhile. I promise. I suppose I could part with a little more. Here's another 100 caps. If that's true, then I'm sorry to hear it. Perhaps we'll confront our pain together. I see. I've opened an old wound. I'll just get on with the story then. Remember, the island's always watching. Be careful out there. Damn those feral ghouls. And damn the island for sending them after Petey. It's time to settle accounts. You hear me, island? My friend here's gonna even things up. Those feral ghouls come at you quick. Poor Petey learned that the hard way. What kind of person just shoots a man for sport? All those trappers can burn in hell. What kind of person just shoots a man for sport? All those trappers can burn in hell. Trappers might look like us, but the island took their souls a long time ago. Now they're just hollowed-out madmen drifting in the fog. You're a good person. I can see that. I've been thinking about what's next, and then it came to me. We all love our grandparents, don't we? Kind, gentle, doting, love to spoil you. You'd never want something awful to happen to them. Nobody would. That's why it broke my heart when I lost Grandpa George. You certainly have. A lie? No. It was true. Or at least there was truth in it. Was there a little harmless exaggeration as well? Perhaps. But some things are more important than truth. Look at you, for instance. You've seen the island's dangers and survived. You've learned something valuable. What's more, the island learned something too. It knows you're not some greenbacked mainlander who can't tell up from down in the fog. The island will respect you now, and that's more than I can say for most who step off the boat. Mainlander cleared my farm, avenged my family, more than the rest of you ever did for me. I'm with you, Alan. The island gets us all in the end, but it ain't got me yet. The Dalton family was great once, but that was a long time ago. If you're heading out beyond the hull, you look out for those radhead fanatics. Just so you know, mainlanders don't last long here. You can feel it, the island watching you, waiting for your guard to drop. Now, I don't have to tell you that the bonds of blood and family are strong as any a person can know. But if you ask me, the strongest among them is the bond that exists between two married people. That's why the last part of this tale is the hardest one for me to tell. The hero of our saga returns triumphant. Ha ha! I bet the island didn't see that coming.
Now let's talk about Grandpa George. He was a kind old man, had a big white beard I used to tug on when I was a little girl. He and some others lived out at the quarry, but then the island sent some mirelurks to drive 'em out. Grandpa stood his ground, a shotgun in his hands, trying to hold those monsters off while the rest fled back here. When you wipe out those shell-backed devils, it'll send a message loud and clear that says the Daltons pay back blood with blood.
Follow the coastline to the north.
Oh, and try not to fall in. Happened to me once. Landed on my head. Townsfolk say I haven't been the same since.
All right, then. It's southwest of town, not far from the quarry. I have no cause to doubt you.
Nice try, but a Dalton is nobody's fool. You'll get what I give you and nothing more. You know what? You're right. I ain't going to tarnish the family name by being cheap. 800 caps is all I have, but it's yours. I suppose you're right about that. Okay, 600 caps then.
What? I don't get your meaning. Ugh, never mind that. I see. Well, you're a stranger to our island. Can't expect you to really understand what's important here. That's the spirit. Off you go, then. The story's unfinished, and there's another chapter still to write. Off you go now. My story's over, but yours, I think yours is only just getting interesting. And that's it. That's the end. I can sleep easy now, knowing there won't be any unfinished business when they put me in the ground. Of course, of course. This is the end, the final chapter. Once you've done this, the last Dalton will be avenged. Then it's done. It's finally done. All those lives that were lost, all those debts finally repaid. And it was no son or daughter of Far Harbor who stood up to the island and avenged the Dalton bloodline. It was you, an outsider, a mainlander. The final chapter's been written. The story has come to an end. This is a day I never thought I'd live to see. Thank you. Remember, trappers may be half crazy from the fog, but they still know how to use a gun. Nope, only the ones the island killed. Some others died when their boat sank, but we can't exactly get revenge on the ocean, now can we? That's just crazy. My late husband, Daniel, was the best fisherman this island ever saw. He and his crew had a favorite fishing spot out by Brooks Head Lighthouse. One day, a day I'll never forget, I see Danny's boat pulling up with his crewmen all shouting and carrying on. Turns out some trappers moved into the lighthouse, no doubt because the island told them to. They're all crazier than a bag of mole rats. Their leader was having a little target practice. Shot Danny right between the eyes. Killed him just like that. You go and get that son of a bitch. You make him pay for doing the island's bidding. Ha! That's the same mistake everyone makes. It lulls you into a false sense of security, and just when you let your guard down, bam! It strikes. Well, I ain't fooled, because I'm a Dalton, and we don't run from a fight. Let the island do its worst. I'm not afraid. Ah, you're a quick one. Good. You'll need your wits about you, because your part in the story is filled with danger. Haven't you been listening to anything I've said? I'm a Dalton. The island knows me. It's just waiting for me to set foot outside that gate. But you're new here. It'll never see you coming. Don't worry about that. One thing a Dalton's never been is poor. I was just about to explain. Petey was my cousin. He was a good lad, never caused trouble. He thought all those freckles brought him luck, but, well, not so much. He was out foraging at the National Park campground when the island sicked some feral ghouls on him. Island's a sneaky bastard when it wants to be. Anyway, he made it back to town, but died from his injuries that night. Course, those ferals are still out there, waiting to kill the next poor fool who comes along. Damn shame that. Now, on to the first chapter in our tale of vengeance. That would be the sad story of freckle-faced Petey. You must not be big on earning caps either, 'cause I was about to offer you a job. Oh well, too bad for you. Good, good. It's long past time those shamblers paid for what they did to Petey. Huh. Sounds like someone forgot to pack a sense of adventure when they got on the boat to Far Harbor.
Now get going. Those ferals aren't going to kill themselves. Ain't smart enough for that.
Oh, you think that now, but by the time you've heard my tale, you might not be so sure. You're that mainlander who just got here. Better watch yourself, 'cause this island sees and hears everything you do. You want to take your time thinking about it? Fine. Just tell me when it's done.
Just like you do anything, one step at a time. Now listen up and listen good.
My family, the Daltons, was the pride of Far Harbor for generations, even back before the war. It was lumber and fishing that made the Daltons rich. But they got greedy, took too much from the island. The island's been getting revenge ever since, killing us off one by one. I'm the last Dalton still standing.
That's where you come in. I want to hire you to get some sweet revenge on this bloodthirsty, godforsaken island.
I thought you might say that. National Park campground. It's pretty much straight west of here.